Sniper rifles inside Battlefield REDSEC got a massive buff inside yesterday's update, whereas if you do use a sniper out with the recon class, you get less of that weapon spread using the sniper rifle, which is extremely important because that was the main con of using a sniper outside the recon class. So they have addressed that to some extent, so most of your shots will be landing. Now that doesn't take away from the fact that sniping was always fun inside Battlefield REDSEC and people love sniping in this game, but what this video is all about is actually the other weapon that you should be using alongside it, which is your sniper support weapon. Now sniper support weapons are essentially a complement to your sniper, something that can cover the close to medium range, and then you can use your sniper at further ranges. Now when it comes to REDSEC in particular, you do need to pick out your second loadout drop because you cannot have two weapons side by side inside one loadout the way it works inside this game, or a custom weapon drop, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to picking up that second weapon or even a ground loot weapon that you want to upgrade, then we're going to go over which ones are your best options to pair with your sniper rifle. So let's get straight into the data first because we need to heavily narrow down some of these weapons. All of the guns you see on screen are every single gun currently inside the assault rifle, carbine and SMG class, because these are the weapons that will make the best sniper supports. So as you can see, you've got the time to kill for every single one of these guns when it comes to 2 armor plates plus base HP inside Battlefield REDSEC. Each armor plate is worth 50 HP if you weren't aware of that, and these are all the time to kill values at each one of the damage drop off ranges. We've also added in mag capacity, rate of fire and bullet velocity in here as well, which is also pretty important too, so we will get on into that in just a moment. But like I said, these are the time to kill values and we need to narrow these down significantly. And when it comes to sniper support weapons, we're mainly looking at the closer ranges because everything after that you should be using your sniper. So now let's organize between the 10 meter range. This is 0 to 10 meters, and as you can see, you've got the SCW10, KV9, TR7, SG553R, M417A2, NVO, the M4A1, the M433, and then the SOR at 10th place here. So you can see all the guns listed in terms of which ones are the fastest, but if you look at the SCW10 for example, and then you compare it to the very bottom of the list, which is the AK205, and as much as that gun is super accurate, by the way, the AK205 is a really solid option still, but when it comes to sniper support, you do want to remain very competitive at this close range because some people will be using very aggressive SMG builds depending on what weapons they have in their hands. Now, arguably even more important than that 10 meter range, the 10 to 40 meter range is the most important in my opinion, and you want to find a good balance between the two, and this is where we're going to cap off the range, because even though I have included the extra numbers here for the 40 to 80 and the 80 to 120, this is not something I want you to focus on too much, because anything plus of maybe 50 meters, I recommend starting to think about switching to your sniper at that point. You're going to get better time to kill values and just overall hit your shots better, because keep in mind, these are sniper support guns. We're not going to be building them out for super long range for those engagements, even though after all the buffs of the last couple of updates, you can definitely build out most of these weapons to be very competitive at range. But as you can see here, we've organized them now, and the TR7 comes out on top. We've got the M277 in second place, the M433, the B36A4, the KV9, the SCW10, the M4A1, the Cord, the SG553R. Now, for saving you a bit of time, another thing that you need to actually consider here is the bullet velocity of these weapons and also the mag capacity as well. Rate of fire isn't too important depending on how big or small your mag would be, so something like the KV9 would really not be a good option because it's over 1000 fire rate, but the mag is super small, so even though it has a really competitive time to kill within these ranges, it's really not a feasible versatile weapon, right? That you're going to be burning ammo very fast. So time to kill isn't absolutely everything when it comes to a sniper support weapon. So unlike trying to run a close range SMG where you just want the fastest time to kill to make sure you delete the enemy before they delete you, that is not how sniper support weapons work. They need to be very versatile, and I mean extremely versatile weapons, and for them to be versatile, they need to have that good close range TTK, the good mid-range TTK like we mentioned as well, and we need to find a good balance between the two. But not only that, we need to also find ones that are very reliable and consistent, and what that means is we need to find ones that are going to allow us to hit our shots every single time without fail, and we've put them on our recoil chart right here, which we've done inside the firing range inside Battlefield 6. We fired them all at the exact same distance, was around about 10 to 12 meters. I couldn't find the exact number because you can't ping inside the firing range, which is bit annoying. But then we took the screenshot at a slightly closer distance so you can see what the recoil looks like. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to show you the recoil pattern just a little bit clearer here for the 8 weapons that we've mentioned. So I've taken these recoil charts exactly how they were and I've blown them up and scaled them up slightly just so you can see them a little bit better here. We've named every single one of them so you know what gun they actually relate to. So we have the cord on the very left, the SG553 carbine, the MVO assault rifle, the M4A1 carbine, SGX SMG, GRT carbine, QBZ carbine, and M433. That's also the assault rifle, by the way. And again, you can see the recoil charts here, and I do want to quickly point out some of the best ones. We were trying to narrow these 8 guns down to 5. Now, if you want to pick any one of these weapons, to be honest with you, they're all very good at being a sniper support. So if we don't narrow these down, I just want to make the list a 5 number because A, it sounds better for the video title, and B, because we don't want to have a ridiculous amount of options, right? So if I don't pick your favorite weapon, then you can definitely still use it if it is on the screen right now. Now, first up, I do think the cord's a really solid pick. Across the board for long range, close range, it's just a really solid recoil pattern, and overall, it's one of the more accurate ones when it comes to the side-to-side recoil. You can see the SG553 starts off very accurately, then kind of spreads out a little bit further. The MVO has a lot of side-to-side bounce, which it kind of always does. Especially if you're not trying to fully recoil control this gun, which is obviously something that you're not going to be doing because this is a sniper support build. The M4A1 is one that we're probably going to have to knock off this list, to be honest with you, because the recoil is a little bit crazy on this gun, especially if you're not fully trying to control it. The SGX, being an SMG and the only SMG on this list, is actually very accurate, and the good thing about the SMGs in this game is that they actually do make really good sniper support weapons because they are all stupidly accurate for some reason. The GRT is another really good choice, and it kind of beats out the choice of QBZ for me, and I actually really like the QBZ's recoil pattern. I think it's a very versatile gun as well, just overall. And then we've got the M433 as well, which probably has the worst recoil out of everything on the screen just now. So just for consistency's sake, I do want to quickly show you the build that we used for all of these guns, and we kept the build exactly the same, by the way. So we used either the brake or the converter. We used either one, and some weapons benefit more from the brake, some benefit more from the converter. We did use the basic barrel for every single one of these guns, and that just makes the most sense for the testing. But some of the guns do have a bullet velocity barrel, which just help bullet velocity only, and especially on the carbines and the SMGs, I highly recommend picking that barrel if you do have it available. Then when it comes to underbarrel grip, we use the vertical alloy grip because this one doesn't con any movement stats, but it does give you a bit of precision and control in the gun. So we use this for every single weapon, plus it was the lowest underbarrel grip that I could use to keep my testing consistent as well. We use the standard mags for every single weapon because it just makes the most sense. It doesn't con any of your stats. And then we use the same optic as well, which was the mini flex, which is an optic that I just personally like anyway. And then we did also use the green laser too. Now I kept these builds nice and basic and gave you the builds up front straight away because this is not a loadout video. Now you can kit these guns out slightly differently if you wish and make the recoil slightly better, make the mobility slightly better, do all those good things. But the reason why I wanted to keep it basic is because first of all, not everyone has all the attachments unlocked, and second of all, these might not be the guns that you actually take from your loadout drop. These might be guns that you're taking from ground loot instead. So that's the reason why I want to put a basic build on here so that you know that these guns can perform well even without any crazy attachments on them. So starting off in 5th place, we actually have the GRT. This gun actually got kind of insane buffs with the new updates because it essentially reduced the bloom of the gun so significantly to the fact that this gun is just very accurate now. So even if you just want to use this at super long ranges, you kind of can. It won't be dealing tons and tons of damage, but you could full auto this gun at range without a single issue whatsoever. And the good thing about it is because it's got kind of carbine movement and mobility, it feels very close to an SMG. So if you do want to kind of build this out a bit more aggressively, you can do that too. But even tap firing at range, this gun is ridiculously accurate. It is basically kind of broken to some extent. Moving on to the next gun, we've got the SGX, which is an SMG. So if you do want that insane mobility, then this is probably the best option for you. So if you do value movement a lot, then this is probably your only option really, because it's the best SMG for being a sniper support. At super long ranges, you can hit your shots. You can full auto this gun at medium range without an issue. And the good thing about it is even if you're strafing and firing, you're going to be super accurate with this weapon. And all the buffs that every other gun got, the SMGs also got it too. So essentially it's actually better than it was before, as you can see here. Next is the most popular gun in the entire game right now, which is the cord, and of course this makes a really good sniper support too. Because the fire rate's absolutely insane, it just works so well at close range. As you can see, you can melt enemies with it easily. Now, like I said, this is a sniper support build, so at range you do want to kind of tap fire it, but it's still a very, very accurate weapon, and it's going to get you sticky situations without a single issue. The fire rate and the mag size just make it the perfect sniper support gun. Next up, we've got the other assault rifle option, which is the MVO. And again, this is a very solid mid-range weapon. You're going to be getting easy kills at full auto medium range. No problems at all if you're able to track your targets. Now, if you are struggling a little bit, then you can tap fire this gun. It's super, super accurate at tap firing as well, which I find really good. And after all the AR buffs that we've got in terms of bloom and everything and the movement in and out of movement tech like jumping and sliding, this is going to help you out an absolute ton now, and it's still going to be a very accurate weapon to use if you need it. And last but not least, one of my favorite guns in the entire game, which is the QBZ. Like I said, the recoil on this gun is insane. In terms of full auto control, you can see that it's got not a single issue of being controlled even at the farthest ranges. Tap firing is super, super good, and the time to kills are very competitive with this gun as well. I really like using this, and it's one of the ones I would personally use as a sniper support because I just love this gun in general, so I had to make it on the list as well. So there we have it. Those are the 5 best sniper support weapons for Battlefield REDSEC. Now, like I said, you will need to pick these up as a second option on your custom loadouts, or you'll need to use them as ground loot and upgrade them throughout the match, because usually you'll be starting off with a sidearm pistol for the most part. And when it comes to the sidearms, just choose the one that is the most comfortable to you. There is a new one in the game as well now. But like I said, that is this video. If you enjoyed it and you appreciate the effort that goes into these kind of videos, then don't forget to subscribe, as we will be making tons more like this for Battlefield REDSEC and as well as Battlefield 6, of course. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave it a like, and thank you very much for watching.